For this assignment, I decided to research more about Shel Silverstein. He was born in 1930 and passed away in 1999. He began writing at a very young age and just kind of wrote all throughout his life and developed his career. Something that I didn't know is that he's also a well-known cartoonist, playwright, poet, and songwriter. He actually wrote A Boy Named Sue by Johnny Cash, which is a Grammy-winning and Oscar-nominated song, so that's pretty cool. But he's best known for his iconic work as a poet for young readers. So some of his most popular works are Where the Sidewalk Ends, Falling Up, Everything on It, and A Light in the Attic. But he also writes non-poetry books as well, such as The Giving Tree, which is one of my favorite books. His writing style is trademarked by a mix of mysterious, spontaneous, serious, and silly concepts. And his very unique imagination relates to his younger audience. So he writes and illustrates his own books based on the ideas that are in his head, and I just think that that's really awesome because not only is he creative in the words that he's writing, but he's very creative in the pictures that he draws as well. So this is an example here of the line that he uses. So he uses more harsh and abrasive lines like in the lion's mouth and down here on the spears to show seriousness or danger. And then this is an example of a more whimsical and flowy illustration that he's done, which show that his imaginative nature of his writing. As you can see, a lot of his work is done in black and white, so there isn't a whole lot of color. And I think in a lot of ways that reflects the mood of some of his pieces because they are so serious and just abstract and out there. So it leaves room for children to imagine what those shapes and objects would look like if they were in color. So like I said, a lot of his work is whimsical or abstract. So a lot of the shapes are different, like the vines, especially on here, are involve a lot of curvature and just kind of oblong shapes, and a lot, even like the people that he draws are not necessarily proportionate or perfect in any way. And I think that this relates to how children draw, and so that's just another way for him to relate to his audience and help them share their imagination as well. His texture, he builds up a lot of different lines and styles to build his characters. So since he doesn't use obviously any real pictures or color, he has to design all the textures for his characters himself just through short lines, different shaped lines, different depths. So overall, I think that Shel Silverstein, he's a great author, and I think that his work is a lot of fun to read to a class. So I would use Shel Silverstein books in a unit where I read them one of his poems, and then they get to illustrate it how they would imagine it. Because I think that's what Shel Silverstein is really all about, is just imagination and being creative. So allowing students to explore their own imagination and creativity would go along well with the concepts that he writes about in his poetry.